What is up, you guys? Welcome back! Yes, that's right, I said back to Changeling Tale. Now, like I said, I scoured the internet to try and find at least one of these full versions of these games because I am broke. So I finally found one. Someone out there was wonderful enough to share the copy that they had with the public. I mean, the demo was cool and everything. I love the hell out of the demo, as you guys saw from episode 2. But this time, I'm going to be very more careful with this, and we are going to play this from the start of this version to the end. This is version 0. Hold on, let me look at... Oh, it doesn't say. I think it's version 0.1.1. The demo was version 0.2.1. So this isn't going to have everything that the demo had. This is a little bit further behind, but all else fails, it's going to cover a little bit more. It might actually start from chapter 1. I don't know. I looked into some of the stuff, and somehow I have some scenes and background, and I don't know why, but somehow it's 40% in. So I don't know why. So we're just going to start up. We're going to start from the start. Obviously, since it's the start. We're going to be doing about 45 minutes, 50-minute episodes of this because this game is freaking awesome and I want to get the most out of it. And I want to get, not really less videos out of it, but I want to cover more per video. Anyway, we'll just see. We're going to jump right into it. And no. Oh, yes. This feels so good to get back into this. I love this demo, so this game is going to be awesome. Ooh. Ooh, I like it a lot already. A chill wind brushes my skin as I huddle against the trench wall. It's a sure sign that winter will be on us soon. I pull my legs closer to embrace myself against the cold, and my boots squelch loudly as they drag through the mud. Ooh, the flare was a nice touch. A star flare arcs lazily across the sky. My thoughts drift to that first winter when I disembarked in France, wandered off in the world, and the war would be over before I even made it to the front. Not wandering. Hardly the heart of that enthusiastic boy may have died 4 years ago, but I live on. 4 years of living a nightmare. In many ways, tonight is no different. The distant thuds of shellfire, the occasional crack of a rifle shot piercing the air, the devil's lullaby. But the fire is as sporadic and rote as dawn approaches. No, I'm not dyslexic at all. There is to be a ceasefire today, or so we are told. Rumors are circulating that it will go into effect across the whole front. Could the nightmare finally be coming to an end? I tell myself I should feel joy, relief, hope, something. But those feelings elude me. The other lads are silent as well. Silence and emptiness. Is that all the future holds? No answers are carried on the whistling wind. Ooh. My hand fumbles inside my soaked overcoat and produces a letter. I've read it dozens of times, and I read it again. Dearest Malcolm, it is with a heavy heart that I write to you. Just yesterday we received word that your beloved grandfather has passed on to the lands of our Heavenly Father. There may he rest finally in peace. Your grandmother assures us that she will be fine, but we know that whilst life on the farm is quiet, it is also full of duty. We fear she will be unable to make ends meet without assistance, particularly in these troubling times. She does not wish to be a burden, but Malcolm, please, consider returning home to live in the country with your grandmother. Once your tour has completed, she would... I forgot to turn my phone down. She would love you to the moon and back for it. Your mother and I think often of you. Be safe. Your proud father, ever, Bruce. Oh, Brucey. Okay, and also, I want to elaborate. I know this is all happening in Scotland. I keep losing the Scottish accent that I've been trying to get for this playthrough, so I'm just gonna play this as if they're in America or something like that. So I might like turn into like some kind of New Yorker accent, stuff like that. Just however I think they're gonna look, however they look to me is the sound that I'm gonna portray them to sing. I gotta turn my volume down because I forgot my volume, my ringer was all the way up. There we go. Okay. And of course the main protagonist, Malcolm, I'm going to use my voice because this is going to help save my voice because I can't try and force that accent. If I get it, I'll try and keep it, but we'll just see. Kurt, as always, while the other boys get parcels from their families, I only receive the odd letter here and there. Posting packages, taxes, on already stretched budget. Mom and Pa said once they moved to the city. Getting out of Achnacreach and away from their small world was all I had ever wanted. Things seemed so much clearer than when the war was fresh. Now, with a glimmer of the end... My nose just started running. That was random. Now, with a glimmer at the end in sight, the future is as muddy as the damned trench we call home. I try to imagine myself with the discharge papers in hand, sailing back across the channel. Where am I headed? To the city? To vie for a factory job with all the other returning soldiers? To school? To whittle my days away behind books I can't afford? Or after everything, am I really destined to spend my days back on the old family farm? I'm no clairvoyant. There's no vision of the future. Only a view of the same pockmarked parapet I've started at 4 months. I've stared at. Resignation sets in. Oh, yeah. Really? What difference does it make? What's left to lose? Oh! That gave me chills! My heart skips a beat. Dirt patters onto my helmet as if... Oh, my leg itches. As if to rattle me out of my thoughts. And I curse myself for considering a future I may not yet live to see. My grip tightens on my rifle, and I hunker down, counting the precious minutes until I can set the weapon aside for good. My voice is already starting to go. I haven't even started with voices yet. Ah, it's so pretty! Oh, that was a cool little audio cue. Once I knew he was returning home, I was flooded with relief. My life could begin again. Malcolm was safe. That was all that mattered. He was alive. I could only hope he was unharmed, and that no further danger would ever come to him. Is that Jessica? Is that Jess? Her name's Jessica, right? It's only been a few weeks. Oh, Changeling Tale. Oh, dudes. Again, big props to the animators and those guys, because this game looks legitimately, it is so awesome. I have to adjust my brightness a little bit more because I know it's going to give me hell in editing because I'm seeing blue on my person. So I got to drop my brightness way down. There we go. That might help because there's blue on my deal. In editing, I'll probably have to mess with the hue. All right, Changeling Tale. Yes, I get it. Go on. Move. Chapter 1, Homecoming. Yes, we get to start from Chapter 1, finally. Oh. Almost home, Hazel. I lean forward and pat my new companion on as we trot along the ridge toward the village. It has been quite a long ride from Strathcairn, where I picked her up at an auction. Oh, that's a cool sound. The mare offers a disapproving snort, as if to say, this is clearly not her home. Home. I weigh the word in my mind. Is it truly my home anymore? I've trod up and down the road almost all my life, but that feels like it was ages ago. All around the foothills roll musically, like lines in a songbook. I would like to think I could still play a few notes on the flute my father whittled for me out of pine when I was still a wee lad. The memories are flooding back, all right, but they feel disconnected, as if they are from someone else's life, like sitting in the audience at a moving picture. Still, I can't help but feel emotional from the familiar scenery. The bluebells, the heather are in full bloom, though it is May and still a season of cold spells. It's almost enough to quell the memories of a lunar landscape I left behind. A fresh start and a clean slate. Maybe this can be home once again. I think I found it, lads. To anybody who's Scottish or Irish, I apologize if this is offensive, but I think I found my accent. The sky is getting dark as we finally make our way into Achnacrij. I think I said it right too. The humble cluster of aging dwellings beckons us in, a cozy oasis in the raw landscape of the Highlands. As we navigate the well-trodden path, I realize that something feels off. The tiny village was never much for hustle and bustle outside of market day, but apart from the crunch of the gravel under Hazel's hooves, the whole place is eerily silent and still. I shake my head. The water touched here too. Oh, touched here too then. How many men would never return? A black cat emerges from an alley and peers at us as if to puncture the gloom. Gran used to say black cats were drawn for freshly departed souls, and I can't help but shiver. Hazel seems a little spooked too. But once we've trotted past, she relaxes back into a stroll. We round the bend and finally hear signs of life from a building ahead. Ah, the Stag and Nanny. The Stag and Nanny, of course. Defiantly merry even in the toughest of times. My stomach rumbles, reminding me that I've not eaten since the single biscuit at the train stop this morning. A pint and a hearty stew would sure fill every craving inside me right now. But sure not every craving, lad. The music and laughter are inviting. A short detour won't do any harm with it. After all, it's been months since the letter. Surely Gran can wait a few more hours. I slide off Hazel and loop her reins tightly around the post. Oh, she's adorable! I'm sorry, this is probably going to be how I'm going to speak through the rest of this Let's Play. Or at least this episode, definitely. I've settled into it. If I get off of it, I'm going to lose it for sure. At all. Tightly. Because I quickly learned she is a sour girl. Almost petty in her erratic behavior. And apparently while I received her as such a fair bid, she glares at me disapprovingly. Oh, she's so damn adorable. Buck up! I'll be treating you well enough. It's just a quick stop, love. I'll be out in a jiff, and sober too. She huffs skeptically. Well, probably mostly. Oi! Lads and laddies! As I open the door and climb smoke pot, revealing a comfortable scene. God, how I miss this. It's a regular Wednesday night at the Stag and Nanny. The noise of tired and happy drunkards is music to my ears. Indeed, the barkeep is one of the loudest, mingling among the chums at the table. Before I know it, a little sprite of a woman approaches me. Wispy tufts of brown hair peek out from under her large, floppy hat. She smiles shyly at me and reaches out towards my arm. Oh, she's fucking adorable. Welcome home, soldier. Oh, hi, thank you. She blushes and her voice becomes quiet and drowned out by the commotion. So, how does... I'm sorry. I'm sorry? She blushes even harder and takes a deep breath. But before she... My apologies. But before she can finish her thought, I'm grabbed by the barkeep. His handshake is firm and benevolent. Ah, another one. Good to see you again, lad. And you, a sight for sore eyes, are looking sharp as ever. Oh! Ball pulls me in and gives me a hearty slap on the back. We're all right, proud of you, my boy. It's good to have you back. It's a relief to be here. I mean it. All my worries are wafted away, mingling into the room's smoke-filled haze. Baljared steps aside and studies me from head to toe. It feels like an officer's inspection, and instinctively my body snaps to attention. He nods. You were but a wee lad when I served you your first brew. Let me pour you another one. A bill for a man. As Bulgaris heads to the bar, others gather around to congratulate and welcome me back home. It dawns on me I'm still in uniform. Oh shit. Identifiably as a homecomer, a survivor. I have to change his camera just a little bit over. I spot similar welcomes throughout the bar and wonder who I might remember. I hadn't seen any of my friends since before the war. They separated most of the recruits from town into class regiments and scattered us leagues apart. Scattered us leagues apart, my bad. There are a few recognizable faces, older gentlemen I know by looks, not by name. But most of the pub goers are an elderly sort. Absent and are the ladies my age with whom I'd raise a ruckus. I tell myself they're still overseas waiting for their ticket home. Best not to dwell on the alternative. Come to think of it, I didn't recognize the brown-haired girl from the town earlier. Wait, has she left already? My stomach rumbles again, reminding me why I came here. I negotiate through the gauntlet of handshakes and backpats into an empty seat on the table. Before I know it, Bulgaria replaces a pint in front of me. A delectable flaky Brady appears soon after, and a gentleman saw doffing his cap with his compliments. I could get used to this kind of treatment. Ravenous, I quickly down the pastry and the beverage, the heavy flavors clinging to my throat, definitely deliciously comforting. It's good to be back. People around me are yammering about politics and work. There we go, highty-tighty. And work, weather, and the loved ones. Then I spot a glimpse of a red in the crowd, and all at once, the din hushes. Ooh. The gas lamps become dim and the crowd collectively turns to the back. A pixie of a girl steps into the light. Hey! A flapper? I can't believe my eyes. A flapper here? In this backwater? The village has certainly changed if it's attracting this sort of girl. I can tell from... God damn. I can tell from the crowd's expression that there are mixed feelings about it too. Oh, she's fucking adorable. She sets down her cigarette from another corner. I hear the crackle of a record being placed on a Victrola. Tiny notes fill the pub. They remind me of some songs I'd heard coming from the American camp while we were waiting. Wait, is she American? Waited for our boats home. There's a pause in the rhythm and she begins her act. Her crystal voice is swaying dress break open the room. It's a song about dancing in the dunes out in the Orient under a crescent moon. And it's like nothing I've seen or ever heard before. What is this noise? It's enchanting. Her red lips shine as she smirks and chirps her way through the tune. She's a stunning. I beckon Bulgaria over. Another pint, lad? Aye, and something extra. Send the flapper a whiskey grenadine. Extra cherries on me. He laughs as he collects some empties. Enjoying the new entertainment, eh? Aye, she's been here with a lot of the regulars. Less so of the stodgy ones. One whiskey grenadine coming up. Mine, we've not had a batch of cherries come since the damned U-boats moved on off the Hebrides. But I'll see what I can do for you, the fine lady. With a laugh, he spins away, and I find myself lost again in the flapper's exotic swirls. What a sight she is. Eventually, the performance comes to an end, and all the loud noises come back to my earphones. One last pirouette, a tease of a curtsy, and the crowd bursts into hollers and applause. As she prepares the next dance, a few older fans press closer to this unusual creature. I can see the flapper's face fall into her way from here. Fortunately, Ball pushes his way through and handing off the cocktail and whispering into her ear. That's all. She lights up, takes a drink, and starts sipping gingerly. Before I know it, she spied me and is walking my way. Oh, Jesus Christ, is she American? I have no clue. It's something about American music, so... What voice did I give Jess? I don't remember. Do you like my hair, soldier? I just bobbed it. She touches the bottom of her short hairstyle. I don't know what or who a bob is, so I agree, since her hair looks lovely. I do. It's quite fetching. Fetching? You're a love, you're a love, aren't you? Suppose so. Say, eh? You first. Jesus Christ. Go ahead, ladies first. Thanks for the drink. You're welcome. Care to join me? Oh, the animation was awesome. I tap the seat next to mine, the flapper slides in next to me and downs the drink in two long, slow sips. She licks her lips. Oh, the sexual innuendo is just coming into the comment sections now, say. Thirsty, yeah? You have time for another? We'd love to, but old man Balger doesn't give me much time for a break. She winks at the barkeep, who nods knowingly. Back on stage. Ow. Flapper bounces off to the floor as the Victrola starts up. Another tune. She sings and spins and shimmies with her red bob bobbing. Good Lord. I finish up the second pint and decide against the third, as the memory of the promise to Hazel is already getting fuzzy. I almost choked on my spit. I work my way to the bar to settle my tab. Balger refuses payment. I earned it, he says. Giving him my heartfelt thanks, I head toward the door, turning to give the dance a go, one last smile and nod. She calls out to me over the music. Glad you're home, soldier. See you soon, hope so. I wave goodbye, smitten with an old pub and its new inhabitants. And there goes the accent. It just fucking disappeared. I knew that was gonna happen, though. That was cool, though. That was a really cool animation sequence. Night is falling as Hazel and I approach the old homestead. Found it. I found a pinch of guilt at this late hour as I see the small silhouette framed against the open door. Gran is outside on the front steps, sweeping at almost nothing, yet dust still scatters about. She looks up at me and waves. I return the gesture. Thankfully, my journey is over. At long last. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Closer now I can see she looks as tired as I feel. But there are different tears of joy in her face. Don't be sorry, Malcolm. It's enough that you're here. I never knew if I would see you again, lad. I dismount Hazel, who graciously allowing me to ride her back from town without bother. See, just lost it again. She nearly shakes free of the grasp. Gran helps rein in the mare and secure her to the house post. A feisty one, isn't she? Oh, dearie. Are these really all your things? She weighs a small rucksack that had been slung across Hazel's back. Oh, found it again, ladies and gentlemen. Aye. They patted me on the back and sent me on my way without much more than the clothes on my back. But they're sharp clothes, are they not? I pat off the dust, straighten my collar, and strike a goofy salute. My grandmother laughs. How are you, Gran? Dear Agnes responds with a lovely embrace, much stronger than I imagined she could muster. Her limbs are so frail, but all the muscle and sinew. Her head barely reached my chest. There's a little left here. To have you back is a miracle all to itself. I stroke her head. Man, I keep losing it. Damn, I might have lost the accent for a while, you guys. I'm sorry. All you guys that are finicky about my voices, I'm sorry. It's my pleasure. We hold each other for a little while longer, sharing in the profound feelings of relief and reunion. Then she ushers me inside. Come in before you catch cold. I lost the grandma voice too. Man, what the hell is with me? That was cool. My senses are overwhelming by the sights, smells, and sounds of my childhood. A crackling fire, a bubbling pot of stew on the stove, the simple decor of a country living. But I knew going from so many voices I'd lose the accent. Sure, a few stones have come loose, and the holes are forming between the rafters, so I can see the future plans ahead. But by and large, nothing's changed, except how empty the nest has become. Gran, I'm so sorry about Granddad. How have you been managing? She turns from the stove and waggles a ladle at me. Well, I've none of that tonight, young man. A weird traveler should not dwell on what's behind us. I hate that voice for her, but it's the only one I can go for right now for an old elderly lady. Despite the nosh at the pub, I welcome the bowl of stew Gran places in front of me. It tastes even better than I remembered. She pours me a whiskey to and every part of me is warmed, though. Tonight, you will sleep well in a warm bed every night now, for as long as you want. She laughs. Even if that be after I leave this earth. Gran, what a thing to say. But it's true thing. Something I realized after your mom and dad moved to the city and your grandfather passed. This life is fitting. I cherish all of it now, as you must as well. It's as if she has been feeling around for my soul, and I knew where to look for it. She hit the right spot in the first try. Yes, I know all too well. I take her hand in mine, both of us tipsy from food, drink, and good company. Let's have this moment here. Grandmother pulls me close again and holds me the way Mum used to. I don't know if I could ever bear leaving this table. We laugh, we cry, and we stay up late into the night. Aw, that's sweet. I like that little touch. That's nice. These audio cues are cool. Like I say, I'm gonna link this guy in the description because it's him and somebody else. I can't remember. It's Little Napoleon, and then I can't remember the other guy's name. I apologize for that. But all his stuff's on his itch.io, the thing I posted in the demo video. I'm gonna post it in this one as well because any of these, they gotta get credit for this because they're awesome guys. I like it to the sound of a kettle coming to a boil. The sun has yet to fully rise, but I can smell tea brewing and some. Okay. Tea brewing and something fresh baked. It's a challenge getting myself up and out of bed. The goose down quilt, even with its bare threads, is so warm and comfortable. I've not slept so well since, well, the last time I slept here. This was my room growing up. It's hardly recognizable now. My old things have long since been stowed who knows where. It's mostly empty, save for some odds and ends. I finally will myself out and from under the covers, throw on some proper clothes, and head into the common room. Good morning, young man. I have biscuits on the hearth and potted eggs on the table. Fresh cream in the pitcher, sugar cubes in the jar. Thank you so much, Gran. I give her a good morning embrace, and she squeezes me tightly again. An impressive yet gentle vice grip. Man, I wish I could find that voice again. That was perfect. I'm starting to mess with my voice box, though. When she steps back, she is suddenly all business. Now, I've already fed Hazel her breakfast. Once the dishes are done, I'll go tend to the herd and clean the barn. Gran, why don't you let me take care of all that? You don't need to run the farm all by yourself anymore. She sighs and shows her stubborn streak. It's not me to ask you for help. Times are hard and everyone has enough to worry about already. I don't want to burden anyone. Not even you. If this farm becomes too much for us to handle, it's always an option to give it up, to sell, and join your mother and father in the city. Nonsense. This is your home. We'll make it work. So how about it? Sergeant Malcolm Campbell, reporting for duty. Well then, Soldier, I suppose we could use some things for this week. Perhaps you might go to the market for me today. It's a start. Oh, it's a start. I wink and nod toward my breakfast. I better eat fast then, if I'm to beat the crowds. I chew and guzzle until the empty plate rattles and the cup and pot have not one drop left. You're an angel, Malcolm. Laughing, I stand up, shoulder an old overcoat of Granddad's, and give Gran a peck on the forehead. And don't you forget it. I'll be back soon, Gran. That's so sweet. Set off across the meadow to the barn. My boots lose their footing a few times in the wet mud. The mist is still settling in the air. Outside, the sun is cresting the hills across the loch. It is edged with pink, and I find myself muttering an ancient rhyme. Red sky at night, shepherd's delight. Sky in the morning, shepherd's warning. Passing the herd, I can hear cuds chomping and drooping lips braying. Gran told me we hold 36 head of cattle, but from here I can only count 20 or so. Is there count off, or was it just a wee bit of reassurance through exaggeration? Opening the barn door is harder than I remember. I steel myself and try to get a grip on the damp wood. My nose itches. Hi, Hazel! She's so cute. I just put a pat on her head. She go, pat, pat. I'm petting her on my monitor. You guys can't see it, but pat, pat, pat. Hi, Hazel. As the door slides open, I see Hazel standing impatiently in her stall. I'm reminded of the difficulty Gran and I had stabling her before we retired last night. Hold on 1 second. Ugh, it helps a little. Okay, difficulty Gran and I had stabling her before we retired last night. Morning, my grumpy friend. Sorry I lost my accent overnight, but doing too many voices, it just went. Morning, my grumpy friend. How was your first night's stay at the Chateau de Campbell? God damn. She snorts. Poor Hazel. I gotta turn my volume down. It's loud in my ear. I might have turned audio down and edit, so Jesus Christ. She snores. Poor Hazel. Now in the light, I can see a drafty old barn is much worse shape than the homestead. Sunlight beams through countless holes in the rafters, patching the barn's roof. Yet another chore to prioritize. No finer accommodation for miles. Haha. Don't you worry. We'll take care of this place together. It'll be ship-shape soon enough. Her head rolls dramatically as she flicks the mane off her eyes. She apparently isn't amused, but I can't help but laugh. Come on now. It's not that bad. Now let's get you hitched to the cart. It's market day today. We've got a lot to pick up. Hazel nudges my chin with her velvet muzzle. I nestle into it. My hands and arms reach instinctively to her cold head. I hold my creature, listen to her nicker onto my chest, watch billows of her breath float in the frigid air, and smell the damp hay in the barn. Then her head buckles back in a plucky toss, nearly knocking me to the ground. So that's how it's gonna be, eh, Miss Hazel? So be it. Strong woman has never bothered me. Resolved to train her, get her treats at the market. Let's save it. Oh! My save file's still good! What? Oh! My save file's still there. I'm saving in this one. I'm not gonna save over that one. Not gonna happen. I got too many good memories with that one. That is cool, though. Oh, that's so neat. Get her treats at the market. I'm gonna get her treats. I remember the drill manual I was issued. Its section on... Go away. There we go. Its section on horse discipline. It works well enough for all the good it did once we were dismounted and dug in. Those who act with inhumanity, they obey reluctantly. Those who treat them well are always repaid by obedience and ready action. Alright, I get it. You still don't trust me. I'll tell you what. if you behave, maybe we can find a special treat for you at the market. How's that sound? Hazel's eyes skeptically but noticeably calms as I carefully fasten her saddle. Atta girl, that's more like it. Now time to get on the road. I can't believe I just completely lost that accent. That was so perfect. I was even able to do it with Ball and everybody. It's just, and then I lost it with Gran. Hazel is none too thrilled about towing the small cart, but she only bucks a few times on the ride into town, so I consider it a success. Wow, there's so much blue on me. Wowie, wowie, wowie. It might not be the brightness I have to do. I might have to actually turn that blue tinting down. The square is already bustling with activity when we arrive. If there's too much of it, you guys are probably seeing this, so sorry. I have to keep adjusting my settings on my monitor. It's the only market at the side of the lock. People have flocked from all corners of the Vale to stock up on supplies. The morning air is full of sounds and animal carts. Women gabbling over prices, children fighting and screaming with delight, the old men drunk and on early beers and life. I tie my mare to a post and dive into the fray. My first stop is the millinery? Am I saying that right? Booth, since I realize I don't have a proper hat to wear out in public or in the fields. Glancing down at the milliner's wares, it suddenly dawns on me who's standing behind the cart. Hey! Oh, hello again. Hi there. What a pleasant surprise to see you again. She fidgets with her hat a bit, burrows her hands into her coat pockets, and blushes. You as well. Are you looking to buy a hat? Yes, I was looking to get something sharp. Do you have any recommendations? Well, the flat caps seem to be popular. Comfortable? I would say so. What about the one you got? Oh, this was custom made. Does fit you quite well. Her blush deepens even further. Thanks. You know, you look good in a green one. I think it matches your eyes. Then that is the one for me. As I don my cap of awesomeness, I try on the green wool cap, placing it right on top of my head. It's a wonderful fit. I have to agree, it's very comfortable. I hope it looks as good as it feels. That it does. I start fumbling around for some pocket change, and a few coins spill loose onto the ground. It takes an effort to bend down and scoop them up. My back protests from yesterday's long ride. You know, I don't think I've had a chance to properly introduce myself. My name's Malcolm. My name's Murdoch. Murdoch? Not really a girl's name, is it? Or is it Murdoch? Murdoch? I don't know. I'm gonna call her Mur. That's a right fine. Oh, wait. That's a right fine half out there. Yours just for 5 shillings. Ah! It's a guy! Okay, that explains why his name is Murdoch. Okay. The gruff voice makes me jump, standing and turning back to the stall. I see the girl is gone. In her place, an older gentleman. Oh, hello. Yes, this will be the one, please. I'd like to thank the girl who works here for her suggestion. As he pockets my coins, he scrunches his bearded face into a puzzled expression. Be begging your pardon, lad. What girl? She was right here just a moment ago. I gaze across the pool of the market goers, and whilst I don't see the girl's hat bobbing among them, I do spot a few recognizable faces. A golden redheaded with oval glasses stands out in the crowd. I believe to be my childhood teacher, although she doesn't look a day older than I remember. The cheesemonger, on the other hand, is just as old as I remember. His grizzled hands are barely strong enough to cut the wheel, and his eyebrows are so long I can't even fathom how he sees. Then there's a withered boy hawking newspapers out of a woven basket. He has grown from a tiny young one into a sickly-looking boy. Poor lad. I'm hesitant to approach any of these folks from years past. Who's to say they know who I am anymore? I dare say I hardly know myself. Then I see a young woman, arms piled high with groceries, cloth, and assorted sundries, moving through the crowd with a purpose. Her arms tremble under the weight. Instinctively, I reach out and catch a sack of flour before it hits the ground. I'm so sorry. Not a problem. When you, wouldn't want you to lose that. The teetering sack's stable again. For now, she manages to produce a smiling frown ripe with humor, dismay, and impatience. Thanks. I usually have help on market day, but my sisters decided to make themselves scarce today. I'm struck by the freckles and unevenly distributed along her cheekbones. The dark green blouse she wears makes her red hair glow like the rising sun. She's a ginger. She's actually really cute. I know it's one of Jess's sisters. I just can't remember her name. We knew each other as children, I'm certain. With a shy hat girl fresh on my mind, I decided not to let the chance for introductions slip away this time. My name is Malcolm, and you? As soon as the words leave my mouth, I fear that my awkward introduction has made her uncomfortable and surprised. Noticing her inability to shake hands due to the overabundance of packages, I squirm, shake my head, and start to apologize for taking up her time. She straightens up, adjusts her goods, and looks me dead in the eye. She extends one hand. I'm Marion. Marion, yeah, that's your name. Her name's Marion, guys! I didn't just remember because she said it. Yeah, I remember because she said it. Shut up! Her handshake is firm. She squints at me, perhaps because of the bright sun. Then her face breaks into a smile. Malcolm! She sighs with relief. You're home. Caught off guard, I readjust the bag at my hip. It's Marion McLeod. Yes, Marion. Nice to see you. The wind blows across the familiar face, no longer that of the girl I knew through childhood, but as a woman she's become. Her visage is a warm and youthful, but her eyes have a maturity beyond their years. Your sisters, I remember them too. Grace and Jessie. Oh man, I made her sound country all of a sudden. Son of a bitch. Grace and Jessie, they still live on the homestead as well. You're still neighbors then? And your parents? I catch myself. Your father? Her mother passed when the girls were young. I should have remembered before I spoke. Father's still away. He's overseas, serving as an officer. We're tending to the place ourselves. Your hands must be quite full with that. She laughs and shifts her weight again, obviously still struggling under the load. In more ways than one, I had better get back to my errands before I drop anything else. It's so wonderful to see you again, Malcolm. Please stop by our home anytime. All of us can catch up. It's been too long. She nods a farewell and turns back toward the fray and the market. Offer to help her. Seeing an old friend wrestling with, with all those unwieldy supplies breaks my heart. Say, Marion, do you want any extra set of hands today? She turns back, perhaps caught genuinely surprised by this offer. Hope I'm not embarrassing myself or her. I have to help with your shopping if you need. Oh, I have time to help you with your shopping if you need, seeing as your sisters aren't around to help you. Really? That's very generous of you. I mean, if you're sure you're not in a rush or you're needed somewhere else. Of course, it's what good neighbors do. Well, then yes, thank you. It would help me tremendously. Oh, my back is all jacked up. I gotta take my hat off. It's bugging me. So I had to wear my Deadpool hat today because my hair's a fucking mess. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Now I don't have to worry. Keep bumping the freaking thing. These damn lights are dimming again. It didn't last but a week. Once our goods are evenly distributed between us, we set off. We start at the cheesemonger where Marion fills a sack with Bonechester wheels to Voigtdale wedges and Crody curds. Never heard any of those cheeses. He hands us a large sample of fresh double cream kabook on warm out cakes. Much to my delight, the salty and sweet flavors burst into my mouth. Tasty. A few crumbles fall from my lips as I nod and she laughs. It's been quite a few years since I've had anything that good. Just wait till you try Flora's jam biscuits. Come on. Marion takes a hold of my arm and guides me into the meet Flora, the local baker. While I ogle the breads and pastries at the market stall, Marion coaxes a few samples for us. Okay, I gotta go back to using the mouse because tapping on the damn... I can keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing it this way. Flora hands us some sugared biscuits. I take a bite and they are indeed heavenly. Oh, they're just delicious. Oh, I wish I had some right now. It's actually making me hungry. I do all the baking at home, but the jam biscuits I get here are so delicious. They just melt in your mouth. Oh, so good. I smile, barely able to contain the pleasure. It's been ages since I had sweet treats like this. Now I'm going to take you to the now I'm going to take you to the tailor. Let's go to the tailor and get a suit. Yeah, I'm weird. To let my pants out? Am I already fattening up? No, silly. To add pockets to your coats and pants, to fill them with the brim of biscuits and treats. So you're trying to beef me up a bit, eh? No, I just see how much you like to eat. Food makes our eyes light up. Oh, your eyes light up. You learn to appreciate even the simplest you learn to appreciate even the simplest of experiences once they're taken from you at any length of time. The crispiness of a cracker, the sourness of a fresh cheese. I understand. Father sent a can of peaches home by post last autumn. Opening it was a sheer delight for me and my sisters. Eating them together, we almost felt like a whole family again. Smallest moments from the biggest memories. She still smiles, but I can tell she's getting a bit choked up about it. I motion towards the tailor's stall. As it happens, I would prefer a wardrobe that doesn't smell like Granddad's closet. Care to pick something out for me? Sure. Let's get you something from the 20th century. Wait. 20th century? Huh? When is this supposed to be taking place? I know it's after a war. I thought it was in the 60s or 70s. That just said 20th century. Okay. Interesting. Mary and I end up finding a simple but smart ensemble for me. It fits well enough for something not made to measure, and a light cotton shirt protects me from the scratchy wool coat. After that, we leisurely peruse up and down the vendors' carts. I try to remember to get what I came for as well. Building supplies, barn tools, a few things for the pantry, and of course a healthy supply of treats for Hazel. After a quick stop at the cobbler, hey, it's a shoe person! They make shoes! I know what a cobbler is, ladies and gentlemen. I watched the show The Cobbler. That's a badass movie, by the way. Where Marion picks a few pairs of repaired boots. We at last stop beside her horse along the edge of town. As she loads up in the saddlebags, she looks at me laughing. You know, I don't think I've seen anyone our age so excited to go to the market. I find it mundane most days. Huh. I'm actually surprised at myself too. I reflect back on the morning of mirth and relaxation, two emotions I've not experienced in some time. I'll take the new routine over the old one any day. Old sights? Yes, old sights, but I can handle that. The sun is high and the market is finally winding down. Marion finishes securing her supplies precariously to her horse. Other people are doing the same, about to set off for their long trek home. And then there are a handful of people drifting into the Stag and Nanny to top off the tank before their journey.
Never mind.
Well, Malcolm, I think that will do it. I really do appreciate all the help. Where are you heading to now? Best be getting home to Grant. I think I might stop by the pub. Did you have somewhere in mind? I think I might stop by the pub because I spent all day with her in town. I'm gonna go ahead and save wherever the save button is. Save over Hazel. There you go, Hazel. Yes, all right. You know, I've only got a minute left, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here. That's a good place to end it. We have 3 choices. No, you son of a bitch! You saved over the wrong one. I clicked on this one. No, you bastard. Fine, whatever. But anyway, like I say, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here, you guys. This game is so much fun to do. I'm so glad to be playing this again. Like I say, we're going through this whole game. I am covering every bit of this I can because it is so fantastic. I don't care. I'm playing the adult version, so you guys are gonna be. I'm gonna be censoring some stuff. So don't get your hopes too up, you guys. If you want to see some boobs or whatnot like that, this isn't that kind of channel. Get your minds out of the gutter. This is for pure enjoyment and not sexiness. I mean, for me, I can see all the sexiness I want because I own it. So, but whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the link to the guy that made this game in the description down below so you guys can go and check out the demo. If you want to find, like I say, it took me forever to find this version. And it took a lot of sources, a lot of searching, and a punch of pain in the butt. I don't recommend doing what I do. I just recommend, I do think it's at least worth the $3 Patreon deal. If I had the money, I would do that, and I would have done that instead of what I'm doing. But like I say, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. And like I say, if you guys want, you know, I'm gonna be putting some in-screen stuff and annotations. You guys are probably seeing them around me right now somewhere, but be sure to click any of those things if you guys want to see anything else that I've done. And I'll definitely be doing some more of this in the future, you guys. So keep tuned, stay tuned. This isn't gonna be a set day thing. This is gonna be just a once like every couple of weeks or so. I might do 2 or 3 in a row. I might just do 1. I might just try and like do 15 of them in a row. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and peace.